Hello, everyone. Welcome back for your second week of virtual PE. So, this week, the first thing the students are doing when they come to me is this warm up. So, it's a warm up Tabata exercise. Tabata is where you exercise for 20 seconds and then you take a 10-second break and then you do the next exercise. I also put here the warm-up Tabata music. This music is going to help you know when to start the exercise and when to stop the exercise. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the warm-up Tabata exercises. And then I'm also going to pull up the warm-up Tabata music for us. And it says that your first Tabata exercise is going to be running in place. So remember to follow along when the music tells you to start and stop. So go ahead and find yourself a safe space away from anything that you might run into or hit or kick during your exercises. Once you have done that, then you're going to go ahead and continue to play my video and do these exercises. So the first one I want you to do is running in place. Here we go. So right now you should be running in place, jogging in place. So the next one we're going to do is some jumping jacks. Here we go. We should be doing some jumping jacks. The next one we're going to do is butt kicks. This is where you're standing up, you're going to kick your leg back and try to hit your butt. Kick those legs high and back. Our next one is going to be the windmill. On the windmill, we're going to cross our body. So one hand to the opposite toe. So right hand to left foot, left hand to right foot. Okay, our next one is going to be the imaginary jump rope. You can pretend to jump forward or backwards. Okay, the next one is going to be high knees. You're going to lift your knees as high as you can. Try to touch your chin, but don't hit it. That would hurt. Some people like to run in place and bring their knees high. So if that's your skill level, go for it. Next one is arm circles. You can go forward or backwards with your arm circles. And the last one is a plank. You're going to be in push-up position, but instead of on your hands, your forearms. And now your back should be completely flat, no bottoms in the air, no part of your body should be touching the ground. And you're holding yourself up with your toes, the balls of your feet, and your forearms. Nice job. Go ahead and get yourself some water if you need a water break. This is normally when I would give my students here at school. This is when they're going to get a water break. So if you need to pause the video and go ahead and get a water break, go ahead and do that. The next thing that's going to happen is the students are going to put themselves in ABC order based on their first name. Now, in this activity, I do not allow them to talk. They will have their mask on for this activity to ensure they're not talking, but they must communicate with each other and try to figure out how to get each other in ABC order based on their first name. And as they are figuring it out, they are going to place the student where their home base is. So if you remember last week, I talked about when students come out to the pavilion, they have a home base. It looks similar to this piece of paper I'm showing you. So each row has 5 spots, and so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then another row, and it continues. So if we have someone that starts with the letter A, they're going to go right here. And then another person with A, and so on. So this activity normally takes them a little while to figure out. So they're going to work together on communicating and cooperating to get everybody to their assigned home base. So what I'd like for you to do is make a sheet of paper similar to mine with blue and red dots, 5 to a row, and thinking about the people that you know are in your class. I want you to see if you can put everybody in alphabetical order by their first name. Now, when the students are sitting at the spots, we're doing every other spot. So spot 1, somebody will be sitting. Nobody's going to sit at spot 2. Somebody will be at spot 3. Nobody's sitting at spot 4. And then somebody sitting at spot 5. So go ahead and pause the video and see if you can get all your classmates in ABC order to realize where they are sitting here at our PE pavilion. Welcome back. Hopefully you had some success in putting your teammates and your peers into ABC order and have them in the correct home base spot so that when they come to activity, they know right where to go. So after we do that, then we are going to talk about our standards. So if you remember from last week, if we click down here on this bottom left picture of what, why, and how, we will find our standard for each of your grade levels. So I am going to go over those. Starting in 3rd grade, we are listing ways to work with partners of differing skill levels. 4th grade, you are working on discussing the influence of individual differences on participation in physical activity. 5th grade, you are describing the benefits of working productively with a partner to improve performance. 6th grade, you are participating in moderate physical activity on a daily basis. So basically this week and next week, we're going to be working on cooperation and communication. Obviously here at school during these times, that's going to look a little bit different. So we are going to be talking about the importance of communication, the importance of working together, whether the person you're working with or the people that you're working with are on the same skill level as you or a different skill level. We'll spend some time talking about how to work with people that have individual differences than we do. We'll also spend some time talking about how to work productively with a partner, somebody that I'm not used to working with. How do I work productively with them so that we can be successful? So, in today's activity, we are going to do the birdie race. Now, normally this is not called the birdie race, it's called the broom race. But because of the situation this year, I just took the broom out and we're still going to use the birdie. So I just named it the birdie race. So as you can see there, the objective is for the teams to cooperate and communicate to get your birdie from one end of our pavilion to the other end and back. But instead of using a broom like we normally would, they can only use their feet. If you don't have a birdie is something you play with badminton. But if you don't have a birdie, you could use anything plastic, like a cup or some type of object that isn't spear. You don't want to use a ball. You want to use something that's going to be a challenge. So you can imagine that if our students were using a broom, trying to sweep the birdie across the pavilion, what kind of challenge that might bring to them. Now, you at home, you can use the broom if you choose to, and I would find an area maybe in your driveway, maybe make a maze around your house, something that works for you and your parents for safety for this activity. And so basically, what the students are going to do is they're going to use only their feet. You can use your broom, or you can be just like them and they're going to use only their feet. We are using no hands on any equipment at this time. If we do, we have a sanitation area that it goes to, but at this time we are using no hands, only our feet. And they have to try to kick the birdie across the pavilion to the other side. Once they reach the end of the pavilion, then they have to turn around and come back and do the same thing. And then the next person in line goes. And so the play is going to continue until everyone on the team has had a turn. And then we'll have a seat. So we're going to start at level 1, and after level 1, we're going to complete it trying level 2. So first we're going to try it using any foot to kick the birdie. Then once we do that, then we're going to play where we can only use our right foot to kick the birdie. And then on level 3, we're using our left foot to kick the birdie. Some safety to think about, obviously, in your home and the area where you're at. Safety is first, so we don't want to be running into anything, watching where we're going at all times. If the students here touch the birdie by accident at any time, they're going to take it over to the sanitation wagon, and I'm going to hand them a new birdie to use. So after you have finished this activity, I want you to spend some time talking to your parents or a brother or sister or somebody, or maybe even just write it down if you don't have anybody to share with and talk with. And I want you to tell them how this activity helped you reach your standard, or what was your understanding if you were here and you were playing with a partner or a team. What would you do to meet your standard for communication and cooperation? Sixth graders, moderate to vigorous physical activity. It's called MVPA. So moderate physical activity is going to be when you are exercising, but you are not creating a sweat. You are just walking. You are not running. You are just bicycling around your neighborhood. You are not racing your bike around the neighborhood. So think about if this activity is a moderate or vigorous physical activity. Write it down, talk about it, see if you can relate our game to the standard. All right, I hope you had a great time playing our game today and learning the information with us. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great week. Bye.